Hi, I'm Dr. Kyle Gullings, one of the Year One Fellows for the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board's OER Fellowship Program. Since 2011, I've been a professor of music theory and composition at the University of Texas at Tyler, and I'm also one of the co-authors of the OER Open Music Theory version 2. The thing that first got me interested in open educational resources was three-ring binders. You know, those big 2 or 3 inch thick ones. When I was a teaching assistant in graduate school, in charge of a classroom of students of my own for the first time, I was constantly struggling to come up with new and relevant in-class examples and activities to supplement the content in our textbook. I felt like I was always a little bit behind on that. And some of the more senior full-time faculty who were teaching other sections of the exact same course I was teaching had these huge binders full of handouts that they had authored over the years. Every so often in meetings, they would let me photocopy a few pages for use in my next class, and it was so helpful. I got to thinking how much better and more efficient everyone's teaching might be if all of us teachers had access to all the collective resources contained in all of their binders. As I moved into a faculty role myself, a full-time role, I had this vision of thousands and thousands of faculty across the world in every imaginable discipline, all doing essentially the same task, developing different versions of the exact same worksheets, the same projects, and keeping it all to themselves. And I thought, what a waste of time and duplicated effort. And not only that, what a missed opportunity for us all to learn from each other, to take the best of everyone's ideas and make all of our classes better and more engaging. So that's why I'm dedicated to open educational resources. I am a big fan of sharing and of efficiency, and I think we should all open our binders to the world. I knew going into this fellowship that I wanted to expand my OER work beyond my field of music. After a lot of exploration and a few project resets, I eventually settled on establishing a no-cost and low-cost course markings initiative here at UT Tyler. This project integrates faculty textbook adoptions with our student information system so that students can make informed decisions during class registration time about which course sections are using OER and other types of resources that might ultimately save them money. I saw this as a way to advance the awareness and impact of OER across our entire campus. Honestly, the first step in my capstone project was learning what course markings even are and why they are done. Part of that came from my program mentor, Nathan Smith at Houston Community College, followed by reading portions of the really excellent OER book he recommended to me, Marking Open and Affordable Courses, Best Practices and Case Studies. If you want to learn more on the topic, I highly recommend this collaboratively authored guide for institutions navigating the uncharted waters of tagging course material as open educational resources or under a low cost threshold. That language is theirs. That book is very comprehensive. It covers so much great information from the legislative and institutional policy that drives marking initiatives to a nitty-gritty how-to section to branding and communication advice and a lot more. It also contains several detailed case studies from different types and sizes of schools who've implemented course markings. Now, for a course marking newcomer like me, working on a somewhat compressed project timeline, it was almost overwhelming. And that's when I got the idea for my project to be sort of a pamphlet-sized version of some of the most important points from that book, coming in the form of another case study documenting our work setting up course markings for the very first time at UT Tyler. While the work is ongoing, my capstone project has already had local impact on our campus. After educating myself on the topic of course marking, followed by a handful of exploratory emails, the idea of implementing low-cost and no-cost course markings on our campus has quickly brought together staff from our provost's office, enrollment services, the registrar, the library, and more. Our pilot is already underway in just a matter of months for fall 2025 registration, with a full rollout planned for spring 2026 courses. I can't wait to see this project grow as we iterate and refine it in future years. As with any project of sufficient size, this course markings project has had many collaborators. Chief among them, of course, is my wife, Tara Gullings, UT Tyler's scholarly communication librarian, and really the campus expert here on OER. She has provided a lot of guidance as well as assigned the actual course markings themselves for this project. So many thanks to her for her expert assistance and support of open education. As for our future plans, we are already on the schedule in September to speak with our Council of Academic Deans, Chairs Council, Faculty Senate, and academic advisors to help build support for this initiative and launch it in a really positive way. I'm hopeful that once people across campus start seeing this designation pop up on some courses, it will help encourage faculty who are on the fence to make the jump to lower or no cost materials in the near future. More broadly, we've also had some early conversations with a handful of other UT system OER practitioners on ways to align our data collection to enable future data sharing and improve decision making. One of my earlier project ideas, which was way too ambitious for the time frame, was to establish a system-wide OER reporting dashboard. But one step at a time. My experience as an OER fellow through the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board has been great. The program was organized and executed in such a mindful, professional, and engaging and fun way. Through it, I've met a few dozen OER practitioners across our state and across the country. And so now I feel really plugged into the OER community and more of a part of the conversation. I'm also fortunate that my wife and I have been selected to give a presentation at the upcoming Open Education Conference in Denver. Our talk is titled What I Wish You Knew About OER: Contrasting Librarian and Faculty Perspectives from an OER Couple. It draws in part on our experience executing this course markings project. Lastly, we are also on the schedule next April to present a faculty workshop through our campus Center for Excellence in Teaching and Learning entitled Open Educational Resources and Course Markings: Concrete Steps You Can Take to Increase Access for Your Students. As with a lot of similar professional endeavors, we're finding that this course markings project is growing to a larger and larger size. It's leading to more speaking engagements and presentation opportunities, and ultimately more work for the project. But we are happy for these new opportunities that this project has given us to continue to spread the word and the impact of OER, both on our campus and beyond.